What's up guys, Joey here, Fugatech, and here we are once again with the Vivo V20 Pro. But this time it's for something different. Last time we talked about this device's camera capabilities and we are pleased to say that it passed with flying colors. But this time let's take a quick dive into just how well the Vivo V20 Pro performs, mainly in the gaming department. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. Now, just a quick refresher, the Vivo V20 Pro is equipped with a Snapdragon 765G CPU with a 7nm mobile platform. It's got 8GB of RAM, has 128GB internal storage, boasts a 6.44-inch 2.5D curved AMOLED screen with a Full HD Plus resolution, and a 20:9 aspect ratio with a pixel density of 409 pixels per inch. Some of you have probably seen a few of our hardware tests in our other videos, and we're going to be doing exactly that by testing some of the most played titles currently on Android. Most of these games are pretty graphically intensive, so we're really going to push this device and see how well it fares. But before that, let's flash these benchmark scores for a quick reference. Again, the V20 Pro uses that Snapdragon 765G chip, and since this is the G variant that's in here, we're gonna be getting a slight boost in performance compared to the non-G version. Vivo's FunTouch OS also includes an Ultra Mode game setting which optimizes your device to run games as best as it can, and includes a lot of little features to enhance your gaming experience, like your game sidebar, which helps you concentrate on your game by muting notifications and calls. We also get game surround sound, and even a nifty way of multitasking by swiping 3 fingers up to bring up floating windows that's well taken care of with that generous amount of RAM. Now that we got that out of the way, let's begin by playing a few games. First up, let's check out everyone's favorite multiplayer shooter, Call of Duty Mobile. Now, COD is a pretty heavy game as it is, but the Vivo V20 Pro is more than capable of running this at high graphics settings, as well as a high frame rate at default. Now in game, it seems like we're getting a constant 60 FPS, which is pleasing to see, and it just runs like a charm. Now this is arguably going to be the most fast-paced game out of everything we'll be testing, so we're off to a pretty good start. The rear panel temperatures were alright, but we're betting extended hours might make this device run a little bit warm, but nothing too alarming. Alright, so next up is the ever so popular Pubg Mobile, another graphically intensive game that I'm sure you guys have played at least once in your life. Now, unlike Call of Duty, Pubg tends to be a little bit more demanding, especially since this is a slower survival-paced game powered by Unreal Engine. So attention to detail is a big one here. Thankfully, we're getting very good graphics settings that are set to HDR, with the frame rate set to Ultra by default. Putting it to the actual test, it definitely looks well above the 60 FPS mark and is quite commendable to say the least. Again, some heating issues here after about 50 minutes of gameplay, which is expected, but nothing the V20 Pro can't take. Pubg is also one of the few games that has full optimization support in Ultra Game Mode, so some extra features in this area include esports mode and 4D game vibration, further enhancing your gameplay experience. The third game we're going to be testing is League of Legends Wild Rift, a recently released MOBA that's growing to be one of the most played multiplayer games right now. From the get-go, we're getting stable and super smooth frame rates with high-definition graphics settings, but isn't much of a shocker since this is a little bit less demanding than the other two titles we just checked out. Most of these sub-settings are set to medium except for the shadow quality, that's set to high. We do have the ability to max these settings to Ultra, but for the sake of this video, we kept them at default. Thankfully, Wild Rift includes an FPS counter in-game, and it looks like we're getting a straight 30 FPS. But if you want things to look much smoother, you can actually turn on 60 FPS mode in these settings, and since we can see your FPS in real time, we can confirm that the V20 Pro is capable of handling this game very smoothly. So all in all, MOBA fans are going to get a great kick out of this device. And finally, our last game that made its way to our gaming test is Genshin Impact, since a lot of mobile devices do struggle running this title at a graphically acceptable state. Well, we'll have you know that even a title as heavy as this one is very playable on the Vivo V20 Pro. And it has very minimal frame drops at low graphics settings. It can even run at 60 FPS if you mess around with the settings, and despite the bottleneck warning, everything still seems to run just fine. So yes, Genshin Impact is actually playable on the V20 Pro. Generally speaking, all of these games we just checked out performed quite well, and that's not much of a surprise given what powers this mid-range device up. Of course, much like most phones, we still can't avoid rising temperatures, especially when we're talking about maxing performance out. But despite that, it's easy to say that this device excels in just about anything you throw at it. So from its sleek aesthetics, to its cameras, and finally making full circle with 5G and solid gaming capabilities, this phone surely has a lot to offer. Sure, you may say that this doesn't come with a flagship chipset, but what it all comes down to at the end of the day is how well a device performs in real life, and the Vivo V20 Pro is just that. So, how do you guys think the Vivo V20 Pro fared? Let us know in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed this video, please do drop a like, subscribe to our channel for more content, hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future uploads, and be sure to visit yugatech.com for the latest tech news and reviews. Again, this has been Joey, and I'll see you guys in the next one.